contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm Big Al. That guy right there is Professor Keith, as always. And joining us is what we call him these days, the VP of Operations at 3WA, Dimitrios Arion. What's up?
What's going on, guys? I hate guys, but I'm the owner of the 3WA.
Yeah, he's the owner. Right. And he's smart. He keeps delegating all the responsibilities out to other people. He's got Wolf for the commissioner. He's got Katie to do all the legwork. He just gets to sit back and count his money.
Shout out to Wolf and Katie. And yes, so he is the owner of 3WA, Dimitrios Arion. I stand corrected. Wrestling veteran around here. And man, I'll tell you what, man, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And it's, we usually get a lot of people tune in live. So it's a lot of eyes on you and a lot of eyes on us. So I appreciate you being here. So like most of the time I call people and I, meet wrestlers, and Keith and I, we do SWO shows, we do 3WA shows, we do some other shows, and we run into some wrestlers and we say, hey, how about being on Around the Turnbuckle? And I usually book people like weeks in advance, but you contacted me this time, which is cool. And you wanted to talk about some stuff coming up. Like you got some big stuff coming up, charity events and whatnot. And you got a big event this Saturday at Quakertown. As usual, if you look on the bottom of your screen down there, guys, you'll see that on the fourth Saturday of every month, 3WA is at the Q Mart in Quakertown. Doors open at 6 o'clock. You can come and bring the whole family, man. Bring the whole family. It's a cheap night. $20 a ticket gets you in, and you'll see some great action, some great athletes from all over the tri-state area come up, and they always put on a really good show. They put a lot of heart into it, and Dimitrios Arion is the head of that. And man, so how you been?
I've been great. Things are still going good considering some controversy last year, which I'm basically made my peace with it, leave behind. It never happened as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
I think it's the best course of action.
Absolutely. I mean, can't dwell on that stuff. It'll make you go down quick.
Absolutely. That's one of the best life lessons I ever learned is don't dwell on the negative. Try to find the positive. Try to keep moving forward because it's just going to hold you back.
We got some comments flying in. Your current 3WA high impact champion.
Actually, former now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He did lose it to Nathaniel
Cunningham. Former high impact champion. Get to see the best 3WA superstar next week. That'd be Kai Thomas. Is here.
I see the loss didn't humble him any.
It did not humble him at all. David Motorman, big fan. Good Sunday night evening Around the Turnbuckle, and all hail. It's Greek God tonight. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how the fans know you, and they've seen you wrestle a lot, and but you got, like I said, now you're the owner, and things look up, and then you have, and what me and Keith have been so proud to be part of it the past few years as commentary, and sometimes I ring announce. We love seeing the evolution of some of these younger stars that you influxed in last year this year. The dude is the first one that pops in the mind. He's your current heavyweight champion. How do you feel about him?
He's amazing, man. The crowd loves him. Yep. He's a good performer, and he entertains the crowd. You can't ask for much more than that.
I've been watching this business since I was 92, because it was Warrior Undertaker, the funeral parlor, that segment. And I mean, so I've been watching a long time, and I've been lucky enough to be part of it the past. I think we're on 4 years now. Just passed on my birthday week there, 4 years now, and I don't know. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've seen somebody come in cold to a building anywhere, indie, WWE, anywhere, and the audience immediately takes to them. And the dude was able to do that. And that is something really special. Before he did anything in the ring, just from his entrance, just from looking at him, the demeanor he had, the mannerisms, people just got behind him and adopted him immediately as like their hometown hero. It was really something.
Yeah, some guys have that persona, they project that out there right away and people take to it, and you also got to be able to pull it off in the ring, and he does.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
I was shocked when he told me how many matches he had and watching him that first time, and I'm like, really? Because I'm like, you seem much more polished than you should be for that little experience.
Yeah. I mean, considering, he's a great worker. I mean, can't say enough about the guy.
Yeah.
What's up, Christopher?
That's is Wyndham and JT and I mean, they bring the wrath of people just by walking in the room, which is great. Exact opposite. That's also great too.
Yeah, they have that effect on people. Those Wyndham, JT Cage, the Hat Guy, they just walk in the room and people seem to get a negative attitude. But
they earn it. They work for it. I know from experience.
And then you got the Carnage champion, Atkins. You got him
Rob
in there.
Yep.
Man,
Fantastic representative of that title.
I think so too. I love watching him wrestle, man. He's student of the game, obviously collegiate style, but like he moves around that ring like he's been doing it for a lot longer than he has too. Also, I mean, like 20 years. Man, he's smooth and he's got full charisma. I mean, he's another tremendous athlete to watch.
Well, he's got some competition with Houdini around and some of the new guys that are coming.
Some guys have been influxing their way in, and So I mean, well, let's talk about you haven't really announced any matches for it, but guys, you want to see some of this great quality 3WA events? You come on down to Quakertown on Saturday, and I'm gonna throw the poster up here right in front of us here. That's Saturday, March 22nd, at the Q-Mart Farmers Market. There's your address right there. Tickets. Front row's $25. Is that sold out yet there, Mr. Arion?
We have there's still tickets available, obviously.
Still tickets available.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
General admission is $20, but man, it's March to War. It is 3WA March to War, and you will see Kai Thomas, you will see Wyndham, you'll see the heavyweight champion, the Dude. No doubt the Roadblock will be there, Rob Atkins, and others. Like you said, Houdini, that's another guy, a tremendous athlete is Houdini. He's really impressed us on commentary, Professor.
Yes, been very impressed with Houdini.
Oh, we'll be posting some matches. I wanted to make sure they were finalized before I put them up. They'll be up tonight or tomorrow. But there's a couple of interesting matchups, Tag team champions. The one partner hasn't been there in a while. Of course,
right.
Yeah.
So Tyler Sims, he ended up getting that, but I'm not sure if he's got a partner yet. So who's going to be his partner? So that should be pretty interesting.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there from the fallout from last month. To see what happens in the tag team division, to see what happens for the future of the tag team division in 3WA. And the women's champion is Shelby Waters, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Professor.
Yeah.
I believe currently she is still the women's champion.
So
certainly controversial to say the least.
Controversial as it may be, she's the women's champion, and there's always Autumn Breeze lurking around, for that. But I mean, there's some other women been coming through the pike too, Mr. Arion.
Yeah, she'll be finding it all be posted within the next 24 hours or so. Who she's,
There we go. We'll be sharing that out, making sure you have that, fans. But
you
again,
also wanted to talk about, you got a big charity event on April the 5th. proceeds benefit the Bucks County Suicide Prevention Task Force, which I'll tell you what, man, that is a hell of a cause. This is
A
the second
wonderful cause.
annual. This is the second annual Saturday Night Slam Down Showdown. Last year, you had another charity event. You did very well with it. I remember you raised a lot of money for charity.
Mhm.
But this year, you are in the Bucks County Community College in Newtown campus. And front row's $35, second row's $25. General admission is $20. And the franchise himself, Shane Douglas, will be in attendance among all your stars from the 3WA.
Yeah, those charity events. I mean, it's all thanks to Goldstein Rosenberg's the funeral directors. I mean, they came up with this last year and they did amazing with all their fundraising. And we had a pretty good last one. And it looks like with all the donations and everything, this year is going to be even better.
Yeah, you had a pretty good
So
crowd
honored to
last
be a
year,
part of
despite the fact that President Trump was like one building over, right?
That might have helped even.
The only affected was the setup. I mean, because we were a couple hours later getting.
Yeah.
Right.
I got snarled in the traffic coming down. It was smooth sailing. And then all of a sudden that was going on. And I started texting somebody at the building and I'm like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, you're going to have to come over here because Trump's doing a campaign rally. And I mean, I was snarled in traffic for, I got to say, a half an hour. And I probably got 4 or 5 different messages about like, oh no, don't come here. We're over here now. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
forget that. We're at the building now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'll be there in maybe whatever. Who knows?
I was your guiding light, Professor. I was trying to get you there.
Yeah,
but it was
we had a great show despite the snags.
Oh yeah, it was fabulous. Crowd was loud. Crowd was hot the whole night. It was fun. Good time.
Yeah, this one should be great too. And we just advertised we're going to have a casket match that night also. They'll confuse saying that it was a funeral home, helping out with the show if there would be a casket match. So we decided to have a casket match.
How appropriate to have a casket match in a place that used to be a funeral home. Tickets on sale. Call the 3WA office at 445-243-3034 or use the PayPal link. Meet the legendary Shane Douglas, who will be in attendance. And man, a casket match. It's that rare occasion that you get a casket match anywhere in this area. So man, it's going to be a classic no matter who. You haven't really figured out who's going to have that casket match, have you?
I have some nominees.
Gotta have an idea. Somebody who deserves to put in a casket, but
you have some nominees, Professor?
Oh, absolutely. I certainly have some people I would love to see in a casket.
That's a little bit of a bias, though, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people that
you don't get along with. You know all about bias, don't you?
What are you talking about?
We all know about where those mystery checks. I know you've been a ring announcer lately, but I have it on good authority that you still have a certain man in a certain hat that's still handing you a little bit extra to make sure that you put a little bit of emphasis on
just because once a month my friend the hat guy sends me something like this, because I just happen to like hats.
Oh, yeah, it's a coincidental gift.
He sends me these really cool hats.
Oh, the thing that was worrying me about the hat guy is he's been pretty quiet. I haven't heard much from him or JT.
Yeah, they've been kind of conspicuous by their absence. Here's the Roadblock Chad McCoy, the former heavyweight champion. Hey, what's up, guys, and how's everybody doing tonight? And just wanted to say hi from the old Roadblock.
Always welcome here.
Yeah, Roadblock's another one. People love him too.
Mm-hmm. Staple. He's been a staple for what, 20 years or plus in the 3WA?
Well, I got on and off, yeah. We're lucky. We got a base of fans. We got a great base of, wrestlers, and the ones we're bringing in and rotating in and out make it even better.
That's the fun part. When I come to Quakertown, the fans, they all embrace me and the Professor, and they've embraced us as family, and we all kind of, take selfies together, and we just kind of talk about what they think's going to happen tonight, and they get really excited before the show, and then after the show, some of them like to hang out a little bit longer and kind of talk about what just happened, they just saw, and stuff like that. So Professor and I are just happy to be part of it at all.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've got a great track record too of sending people to the next level, to AEW, to WWE, to TNA, anything like that. You know, there are some really major stars on television right now that can trace the roots back to 3WA or just the Pennsylvania wrestling scene in general. I mean, this really is one of the absolute places and states to watch when you want to talk about where that next generation, where that next crop of great talent is going to come from.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we over the years, especially for the last 25 years that I've been involved, we had a few that came, you know, and there were several before that. So,
You find it harder and harder as the years go on to find those hidden gems, you know, or do you kind of reach out to some of your associates, people that you've worked with before that might have training schools out there, and say, hey, who do you got? Or how does that work for you?
well, we've been around long enough that people contact us.
Right.
Yeah.
I get several workers constantly, you know, getting in touch about getting on the show and getting booked, and whenever we can fit them in, we bring them in. You know, just about with everybody, I'll bring them in, take a look at them. If you know they want to stay, they stay. If they don't, they go. But
yeah,
no shortage for us to bring in. We could pull somebody new every show. You know.
And it's interesting. A lot of times, like when you have the Rumble in January, and sometimes you bring in guys to maybe take a look at them, right? Like you've never seen some of these guys before.
Right. Some of them, you know, they'll contact me in the Rumble just to get a shot, and we bring them in. Several of them you'll be seeing. Again, you're probably seeing a few of them next Saturday.
So there you go.
You know, so yeah, we have a great.
You're all broken up. I only heard some of that. Professor, you hearing him all the way?
No, there's definitely some kind of interference going on. But I mean, the Rumble has become such a great event, and I mean, really a terrific idea that came from our locker room to have that event and make it an annual event, because, you know, to your point, Dimitrios, you're right. It becomes something where we need people to come in to fill out the roster on that event, to fill out the numbers, and it really gives them a chance to showcase what they can do, and it gives 3WA's fans and you as management, as owner, an ability to say, you know what, that's a guy I'd like to talk to about maybe coming in here later. And we've seen that. We've seen some guys that had impressive Rumble performances. Maybe they didn't win. Maybe they got tossed quickly. Maybe they went, you know, a few minutes deep or whatever, but they did enough to say, like, hey, you know what? You might be worth coming back and having a deeper look at. It's a great tryout opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to look at new guys without having a bunch of matches that are going to drag out the night. You know, I mean, they make the show too long, then people are boring. But the Rumble, they get show enough in there that you can see if you want to bring him back or not.
Yeah,
great judge new talent. And I said earlier, I don't know if that's the part you guys didn't get, was that several guys will be coming back. Some this weekend coming.
That's exciting because we look forward to that. Well, you know, we've gotten used to the staples of 3WA, but like we've really enjoyed this past year seeing guys like Donnie Bambino, Nathaniel Cunningham, the Dude. We just more recently you've seen Houdini, you've seen Boss Young Legend, like young guys like that coming through the pike.
You might have enjoyed Donnie Bambino. I've had my problems with Donnie Bambino.
Oh.
You might enjoy Donnie Bambino. Donnie Bambino's been a little rough on me from time to time.
Everybody's got problems with somebody. You know, that's what makes it wrestling. Yeah.
It's wrestling, baby. I mean, the road. Yeah, you haven't had your problems with the roadblock like I've had. I mean, the guy slaps me in the back of the head every show.
Well, you deserve it. Maybe you should stop doing things to get you slapped in the back of the head.
I tell it on Carnage. I tell it like it is. If the roadblock sucks, I say so.
That's certainly your opinion.
But when he
Certainly
wrestled,
your
you
opinion.
know, when he won the championship, I was the first guy in there to shake his hand. Said, you know what, respect. You finally did it.
You only pushed 5 to 6 people out of the way to do it, but you
It
were the
only
first
took
one in there.
30 years, but you did it.
Roadblock has ups and downs. I mean, it's always going to be a part of it. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, man, yeah, I can't wait to that April show too. I mean, that's going to be off the charts. And Shane Douglas, and is this the second or third time that you've worked with Shane Douglas too? I mean, that's become a relationship with him. Yeah,
I think it's the third time.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Had a couple of battles, 4 matches.
Yeah, I remember when he teamed up with the Roadblock against the original family. You know.
Yeah.
That match was off the hook, and I think he got some color there. Did he not? I believe so.
Yeah, he did.
We'll try to avoid that this time.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. As I recall, that was not on the plan, shall we say?
Speed bump needs to move out of the way. The future is here. Well, I mean, yeah, you don't think Kai Thomas has a point there, Professor? I mean, why are you holding your head like you have a migraine?
Because, look, let's be real. Kai Thomas has all the talent in the world, right? Yeah. He has the bloodline. He has the skills. Kai Thomas is a natural. He is a natural in the way that Dustin Rhodes was a natural, in the way that Randy Orton was a natural. He has that gift of being someone who grew up around this business and understands it. It's just in his DNA. It's in his bones. The problem to me is that Kai Thomas thinks that he's a 20-year veteran when he's been in the business about 2 years. He doesn't want to sit under the learning tree. He doesn't want to do the things that he needs to do to truly become great. He's had some success, and he should absolutely be happy with that success. He should be crowing about that success to a degree. But at the same token, how many guys have we seen come down the line and they had a great year? They've had a great 2 years. Maybe they even get to a great 3 years. And then what happens after that? Kind of like the stock market. They just go, not the path that this kid wants to take, and it's not the path he deserves to take, but it's all in Kai Thomas's hands. It's how Kai Thomas chooses to present himself and present his career from now into the future. My opinion.
As long as Roadblock's got a heartbeat, he ain't going nowhere. And if Kai Thomas doesn't like it, then why don't you tell Kai Thomas to try and retire me?
I would like to see that.
Thus says the Roadblock. Thus says the Roadblock. All right. Good stuff, man.
I see the wheels turning for Dimitrios Arion.
Right, I know, yeah. He's like, I got a match right there. A future match.
Might be something to think about. Somebody that can smack him into, smack him back.
He might need to be taught a lesson. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't. There's a fine line between confidence and cocky.
The kid has all the talent in the world. We know that. Nobody is disputing that. It's just the mental, the mindset. That's what
were you saying, Mr. Arion? What were you saying?
Too new to be too confident or too cocky.
Yeah.
But I'm sure somebody will straighten them out somewhere.
Speaking of straightening out, guys, how do you think the job of the commissioner is going so far? Like, what's your grade on his job? I know he'll watch this later. He's not watching live, but I know he'll watch it later.
The grade on his job, well, he hasn't had an opportunity to do too much. I mean, last week we had to really get around it somehow. We did. We managed to get. But all that's been taken care of. Won't be a problem this time. Able to make. And, but you might be there for a while. It might be temporary.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, if I need somebody who's going to be a sheriff, who's going to be law and order, and keep some of the more chaotic elements that exist within the 3WA in line, I think our greatest hardcore champion we've ever had is the man for that job, and the Wolfman will certainly get it done.
Well, I also knew that was a trial period to see how he handles the job too.
Oh, you'll get several more. See how he does. I mean, put somebody else in this. Or he might keep it. Who knows? So far he's okay. And so as far as keeping things in order, the Wolfman's, especially if it happens that it's a chance that I might not be there on any occasion or something, he could definitely handle things.
Right.
That's what you need.
But we, it looks like we'll have some really good shows lined up even after April. Going into May, so.
So that was my next question. You have an event, a charity event on April the 5th. Does that mean you're still having an event in Quakertown at the end of April?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't change our fourth. That's always there. No matter.
So that'd be, I mean, by my calendar, that'd be April 26th.
Yes.
At the Q Mart. So yeah, just in case fans are like, "Whoa, they only run once a month." Usually, just like last year, you had two events in the same month. You're gonna do the same thing again this year.
Yeah. Any extra shows that come up, different date. The fourth Saturday is always the fourth Saturday. I mean,
right.
Yo, a big shout out right now to Reginald Matthews. Remember him, Professor Reggie? Remember the tag team up there? But yo, he's watching live right now. He just sent me a text. What's up, Reg? Good to have you, brother.
Yeah.
Haven't talked to him in a dog's year. We gotta get him back on around the turnbuckle.
Yeah, set it up. We got some open dates.
Love it. The Bruised Brothers. Remember those guys, Professor?
Love the Bruise Brothers. The Bruise Brothers.
I love the Bruise Brothers.
They're one of those southern acts I want to steal and bring up north just because I want to call their matches. I'm selfish that way.
Yeah, so fans, go ahead, Mr. Arion. You were going to talk.
Something got brought to my attention. Something you said earlier about the match on the 5th.
Yeah.
5th. Something about what used to be home. That wasn't correct. It is a funeral home, an active funeral home.
Oh, it's currently active funeral home.
Yes, one of the biggest ones in Philadelphia area.
Oh wow. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, because I thought I heard you say something about.
There it was.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow. I mean, that's crazy to have a casket match in a funeral home. Bucks County Suicide Prevention Task Force will benefit. There's the number on the screen, fans. Call for tickets.
Good on them letting us potentially damage the merchandise.
I mean, a casket match can get crazy. There's pretty much no rules.
Oh, look, let's lay it out there for anybody who stumbled on this show that said, I know wrestling, but I don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about a casket match. In a casket match, there are no countouts. There are no disqualifications. There are no pinfalls, and there are no submissions. You get two men enter that ring and beat each other practically to death, to the point that one man can shove the other in that casket and close the lid. That is the only way that matchup can end. Think about all of the, I'm going to say it, carnage that could happen between the opening bell and the closing of that lid.
Right. Remember the last time, Mr. Arion, there was a casket match in 3WA? If I stand corrected, it was Wolfman versus JT Cage. Is that right?
Called that one.
No, we haven't had a casket match at 3WA in a long time.
Yeah, I think that was the last one we had. We had that at the auction house.
It was at Bushhold's auction house.
And I believe we have not had one
Yeah,
since.
we haven't had one since. But I mean, that was the last time. Yeah, that was the last time there was a casket match in 3WA.
The only auction house match I remember with JT's when I threw him.
Well, I know that's all you remember from
Yeah,
that
good
night,
Lord.
but yes. When
I
you
think
threw
that's
him
all
off
a
the
lot of
balcony.
people. I think
Where
that's
is he
all a
right
lot of
now? I
people
would love him
remember.
to comment on that right now if he was watching live. That was crazy. That was a moment I'll never forget.
Yep.
Something up that guy. They've been quiet for too long. Usually, kind of waiting for the storm to hit.
Right. It's kind
Yeah,
of the calm before the storm.
it really is, because usually we see something, right? We see something on social media from those guys by now. I mean, we've been hearing Wyndham's been certainly trying his best to antagonize JT Cage and pull him out of his hole.
Right.
And usually JT Cage only needs the slightest poke to go off. But yet JT Cage hasn't said a word. The hat guy hasn't said a word. In some ways, that makes me nervous. This is not the usual MO that we see out of them.
No, they're usually pretty vocal. They always have a lot.
Right. I mean that I think that bears watching this situation. I'm kind of glad we have Wolfman there to help keep order. Because when JT Cage is truly unhinged, truly acting out of character, we've seen it can have implications for the entire 3WA.
Kai Thomas says, I might not like the owner of 3WA because he disrespects me anytime he can, but I loved it when JT Cage went flying.
Well, yeah, in retrospect, you did.
Oh, my word.
Before you were sucking up to the guy.
Well, I mean, Kai kind of, he got away from the original family. He kind of stands alone now. Now he's on his own. Whether you love him or you hate him, you do got to respect him.
I think part of that is because, Kai's ego, really, you can't put anyone on either side of that. It's not going to work.
I give credit to the man and Roadblock for showing up on a show that features the owner of the 3WA. I mean, where's the rest of the 3WA cast of characters? Where is your beloved Autumn Breeze? Where is your
Al, you do have to go in that locker room on Saturday. And I'm just saying, if they happen to pay attention to this,
I mean,
I can only help you so much. I don't have the muscles here to.
Anyway,
The bottom line is we have shows lined up.
That we do, man, and I'm gonna go through them again real quick, and that's March the 22nd. That's this Saturday at the Quakertown March to War. Wyndham, Houdini, possibly JT Cage and the Hat Guy. Might see some JCM and El Lobo. You might see some Boss Young Legend. You might see some you will see some Kai Thomas. You'll see Top Shelf Tyler Sims, most likely. And you'll see, most likely, the Carnage champion, Rob Atkins. That's this Saturday. And as Dimitrios Arion alluded to earlier in this program, we got some new faces coming in this Saturday at the Q Mart. 6 o'clock is the doors open, and general admission's $20. Then again, the following week on Saturday, April 5th, to benefit the Bucks County Suicide Prevention Task Force, you will see the second annual Saturday Night Slam Down Showdown featuring all the stars of 3WA, and the franchise himself, Shane Douglas, will be there. You can meet and greet Shane Douglas. And it will feature a casket match, guys. Casket matches, as the professor alluded to, is a rare treat for any wrestling fan. There are absolutely no rules. And the only way to win that match is to incapacitate your opponent to the point where you have to get him in the casket and shut the lid. a match that was made famous by many, such as The Undertaker. And
I mean,
if
it
you
was a
don't,
signature.
and if you want to go back and see some of those, check that out and see exactly what you're in for. Right there it is. Tickets are on sale now. Call the 3WA office 445-243-3034 and you can meet the legendary Shane Douglas at that great charity event on April the 5th.
We also have a pretty well known indie wrestler, right?
Say his name again. You cut out.
Breaker Morant. He's pretty.
Okay.
Yes. Yep, I know Breaker Moran. Yep, had the pleasure of calling one of his matches.
He'll be on the card also.
Excellent.
That's April 5th. He'll be here on April 5th.
April 5th, yes.
Okay.
So
I was just clarifying to make sure we weren't talking about this Saturday because
no, not this. April 5th is a casket match. Shane Douglas, Breaker Morant, and the rest of the main roster of 3WA.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in what matches, Mr. Arion's going to be posting out some matches this week in the next couple days to let us know what's going to happen this Saturday in Quakertown.
Yes,
what you will see.
Make sure you go on Facebook and you type in the number 3 WA, no spaces, no hyphens, it's 3 and then WA after it. That takes you to the 3WA Facebook page, and we'll have all the matches up there.
Yep. And if you follow them, you like their page, you get notifications like I do right away as soon as they post something about any news, all news, 3WA, and what matches they're going to be announcing over the next few days. Man, if JT Cage and Wyndham are in the same building, I can't help but think something combustible is going to happen there.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what's going on with those guys. It seems there's a little bit of friction there. But I can't.
Oh, there's a lot of bit of friction there. And who will Tyler Sims choose as his partner for the tag team championship?
What an amazing thought that. I mean, think about the history Tyler Sims has in our sport, the amount of connections that he has. Tyler Sims is, of course, we all know, a great heavyweight champion, but he is also a tag team specialist. You got to believe that he has had scouting reports all across the land to figure out who best is going to help him as the next partner in the 3WA Tag Team Championship.
He'll have to let me know soon, so I'll know before Saturday. It might be kept as a surprise for everyone.
I mean, if I was Tyler, that's absolutely what I would do. I
like surprises.
Know who they're going to be facing, right? Because if you know who you're going to face, you can get tape, you can get scouting. I mean, you can do so much to prepare yourself. If all you know is I got to wrestle Tyler Sims and I have no idea who the second man is, that is a huge disadvantage.
Well, Lunak's going to have to defend the tag title, so he's going to have to find a partner also.
That's another thing, too. Who does Lou Nick find? Because his brother has been off in Japan and doing things. Things are happening. Great for him. That's great. But that still holds
very proud of Abdul Sadiq personally.
Very proud of Abdul Sadiq and what he's doing in Japan.
I've cultivated quite a relationship with those boys, and I'm very, very proud of them and everything that they're doing. They're great kids. They have a great attitude for this business, and I think the sky's the limit for them.
Sure, absolutely. But that holds the question mark over the heads of the tag team championships.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a great test for Lou as well, because we talked about, Tyler Sims has this depth of knowledge, this depth of connection and ability. Lou doesn't have that. Lou has the belt. Lou has that ability, but that's really all Lou's kind of got as his ace in the hole here, right? Because Lou can say, here's what I can do, but it's kind of a leap of faith, right? It's a leap of faith of saying, I can hold up my end of the bargain, and you could be a tag team champion if we get through this matchup. But that's very different from a Tyler Sims who's been a specialist, who's been in many, many tag teams, who can pick a partner and say, let's reform this team that's been successful, that's been able to take the competition out. I have a lot of faith in Lou Nick, but I think he's going to. It's hard to say a champion is an underdog, but I think this is a case where the champion is the underdog this Saturday.
Well, he's going to be forced to team up with somebody he never has before.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have that depth that Tyler Sims does, that knowledge that Tyler Sims does. The challenger, really in a rare occasion here in a lot of ways, the challenger is kind of in the driver's seat, I think.
Yeah.
No, well, don't forget, the challenger has to actually win.
Excellent point. The challenger must win by pinfall or submission, or that title will not change hands.
Luna's got the advantage. As long as he gets somebody that can carry the weight a little bit. I don't know if Luna's been holding back, but he hasn't defended the title in a couple of months, and it's either he puts it up or he gives it up. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fair. You know, at some point, if you cannot be a fighting champion, you cannot be a champion. Pure and simple. That title needs to be defended.
Anybody watching here right now? Anybody watching here right now who's just joined us, have any questions for Mr. Arion, please feel free. If they're appropriate, I'll definitely will throw them his way. We pretty much only have heard from the Roadblock and Kai Thomas, but you know, any of you guys have some questions for Mr. Arion? This is a guy that has a lineage himself in the wrestling business, has a family tree himself. I mean, if you want to talk about that, Mr. Arion, you can. You know, you've had a long lineage in this business, you know, dating back to, you know, your uncle and things like that.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's been a long time. I mean, I was for a period of time, then I quit for a few years and I came back in, you know, but I was too well established in other things to make it a full-time thing, you know, so I kind of stuck around with the indies, you know, working there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I look at it
hits like a freight train, he says. The Roadblock.
What did Roadblock say?
He said you hit like a freight train.
It depends on who I'm hitting.
Yeah. I've seen those matches. I've called those matches, and I've seen some of those strikes. And I always talk about the Roadblock being the best pure striker in the game right now. But I think that's only because I'm going to say at least partially retired at this point. You're willing to get in there if need be, but it's never going to be a regular thing at this point.
Well, I feel kind of, I mean, I run the company, and putting myself in the shows kind of seems ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that. You don't want to be that guy that feels like you're running a company just so that you can put yourself on the show. And I mean, I think less is more when it comes to you, because when you come out there and you do have a match, there's that feeling of like, oh, business just picked up. This is a different level. This is something very, very serious now, because Dimitrios Arion is not only paying attention, but Dimitrios Arion is willing to get in between the ropes and deal with it himself.
Yeah, well, that's part of it also, but we have guys. I mean, I would, you know what I mean? I'd rather get them out there, get some good matches. They're there to do it, you know, they do it on a regular basis. You know, yeah, I'll go in once in a while, have some fun, you know, yeah, maybe, you know, I kind of like keeping myself, you know, from the back, you know. And the one thing that makes our company really work well is some of the backstage help we have that you don't
Oh,
know.
God, yes.
Especially like Austin, you know, Kurt that does our videos. You got, you know.
Yeah, we have we're proud to be part of the Carnage Committee. And if you guys haven't seen 3WA Carnage, check out 3WA's YouTube channel. And we're getting close to our 100th episode of Carnage, which is exciting. Yeah, we should do something. And Kurt said this too, Dimitrios. He said, we should do something special for that episode. I don't know what, but I mean, it's something that you might want to talk to you about. But
I'll get a special show for that one. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I mean, it's exciting.
And
Yeah,
that's funny. The credit I give to you guys is it's a lot of people must watch your video, your videos and Carnage and everything, because we'll do something on the show and then it'll show up being done at other companies all over the place.
yeah.
So people are watching, especially some of the talents, like I'm not going to mention who or what, but
right. No, yeah.
All of a sudden they do our show and then they're booked everywhere else, which it's a credit to you guys that you're out there,
And that's the biggest thrill for us, Professor. I mean, we talk about watching guys come through here and we interview them and then we see them like get a contract or something, but that's one thing. But to get a new guy that's like only in the business for, 6 months to a year, booked elsewhere just because they came on our show, or they were at 3WA, like he said, and they did Carnage, and we were able to call his match and try to just add a little bit of, add a little bit of polish to it, or, our version of polish. That's a thrill for us too.
Hey, most people, the dream was to get in the ring and be able to wrestle and all that. And I always say, like, I knew what my limitations were. I was a severely asthmatic kid. We're still dealing with that now as an adult. Thankfully, it's much less. But I was never an athlete. I knew I was never going to be able to step in between those ropes. So I said, if I could sit there and I could be a Jim Ross, I could be a Gordon Soley, I could be a Joey Styles. I thought if somebody gave me the opportunity to be a play-by-play announcer, I could contribute to this business. And thankfully, you gave me that opportunity, Mr. Arion, and I will be forever grateful for that, because
I knew you had it in you.
I've been able to live a dream and be on a roller coaster ride. And, it's so great that so many people, I had a text, I won't say who it was because I know he's not going to want to be called out publicly. I had a message while we were doing the show thanking me for what I do. And I mean, that's what matters. That is the ultimate thrill to me. If you're helping somebody tell their story and get to that next level, that's what we're supposed to be doing as commentators. We are servants of the story that these guys were in the ring, putting their bodies on the line. That is what it's about. That is the reward right there.
You have the perfect outlook, I mean, I've always said it as far as the indies go, or any wrestling, really, when you get started. If you have a realistic view of your abilities, your body, looks, your size, your strengths, your weaknesses, if you have a realistic view of yourself, you can have a great time, working the indies and hopefully hoping to get a shot somewhere. But if you're realistic about your abilities and everything, they give up. And your view of it, you found you couldn't really be in the ring.
Right.
And it's absolutely great.
But I knew I had a big mouth, so I could be a ring announcer. Put a microphone in me, and I'm even louder. The Professor, I just had to nudge him just a little bit. I knew it was there. I knew the knowledge was there. I knew the talent was there. I just had to push him just a little bit, and boy, he has soared farther than I ever thought he would. And I'm proud of him. I'm also proud of sitting next to him when I get the chance. Best commentary duo in the business.
Because
says Roadblock Chad McCoy.
Village that helped me do that.
And I appreciate Roadblock Chad McCoy for saying that.
Yeah, I don't.
Whether
it's
true or not is up to
opinion.
Yeah,
the fans will tell us that. I had somebody announce me yesterday as the best play-by-play guy in the business, and I always say, like, I'm not gonna. The fans are gonna tell me that. Nobody else can tell me that. The fans are gonna tell me
he's
that.
better than Michael Cole. He said, "No, all right." So, Chris Vance says, "Mr. Arion, do you see any new upcomers in 3WA that could become elite?" I think he means could make a living doing this.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys I can think off the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I should mention any names. I don't, but,
right.
Well, you don't want to offend anybody. I know that, but
Well,
we did mention the dude. I think the dude has all that. You know, the charisma, the moves, the character. Like, he has everything going his way. The only problem I see is down the road, would somebody want to take that guy and make him into something else? You know what I'm saying?
the whole thing with that too is connections. I mean, you can have everything. You know, you can go around the indies and see guys that are just as good as anyone you'll see on TV, but
Yeah.
they're connection. They might not know the right people. You know, it's all time, place, opportunity, and obviously, you know, your skills. But
Won't mention names, he says.
Slow down.
Well, Kai Thomas.
Slow down.
uh,
Kai Thomas wants it all now, right? You know what I mean? We've said it a million times. You're a rookie in this business for about 5 years. You have not been wrestling for 5 years, so you're still a rookie.
But he, and again, this is what frustrates me about Kai Thomas. He has done so much already.
In so little time, yeah.
In so little time, he's a pain in the ass. But he is a prodigy who is a pain in the ass.
He's good.
If he could just slow down, if he could just stop with the pain in the ass and focus on the prodigy.
Love it. Unbelievable. All right, one more time, guys. I'm going to put these up for those who joined us later on. We have big 3WA events coming up this Saturday at the Q-Mart. March to War. Matches will be announced later on this week. General admission is $20. The doors open at 6. That's the fourth Saturday of every month. Come join us for a great night. Bring the family for an action-filled night, is only provided by the 3WA. I almost said WWE.
No, we're not them.
And Saturday, April the 5th. Yeah, but we're cheaper and we're more fun. You're more intimate. You're part of the show. You are in the crowd.
And we've also got the Q-Mart. You can make a day of it, right? You can come down to the Q-Mart early. You can go to the stores. You can look around. You know, I avail myself of the Q-Mart. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I traded in some old video games, some old movies and stuff. I walked out of there with a sack full of movies that if you're a movie guy, if you're a cinephile, if you're a television aficionado, frankly, you'd be jealous of what I walked out of there with, and I paid $7 for all of it. That's probably a conversation, Al, you and I should have off the air, because I think I'd blow your mind with some of what I walked out with. But you can make a day of it. You can come to the Q-Mart early in the day, right? You go to the shops, you look around, you do all the things, and then you come out to 3WA and you cap off your evening with us.
All right. Saturday, April the 5th at the Bucks County Community College Newtown campus in Newtown, Pennsylvania. 3WA will present the second annual Saturday Night Slam Down Showdown, and proceeds benefit the Bucks County Suicide Prevention Task Force. That's a hell of a cause. Come on down and support that cause. Plus, get to meet and greet Shane Douglas. The franchise will be in attendance there. And the 3WA has promised on that same night a casket match. And all of us, we all love a good casket match. It's going to be off the hook. Details about that will be posted on the 3WA Facebook page in the future, but tickets are on sale right now. Call the 3WA office, 445-243-3034, or use the PayPal link, and you can meet legendary WWF and WCW wrestler Shane Douglas. And I'll throw ECW in there too. The franchise. So, man, is there anything, Mr. Arion, that we have not talked about that you would like to talk about, sir?
Not at the moment. You know, we got the shows in, and I'm sure I'll be coming back on again for different things.
To add some more controversy to Around the Turnbuckle. I appreciate when you do that. Thank you very much.
So far, and hopefully they keep getting better.
No, I love it. We love having you, and you know, you're a legendary figure in these parts, and we love having you. We also appreciate the opportunity to continue to work with 3WA, because we're proud to do it. Whether it's for me personally, whether it's on commentary next to the professor, or whether it's ring announcing, man, I love every minute of it. I enjoy it. And this Saturday, my family's coming down because they know I'm ring announcing this show. Carolina Jim's back for April 5th. I saw that. He's posted that on his social media. So I'll be right next to the professor calling that Slam Down Showdown charity event. It's going to be a happening, and we'll have a blast doing both events, Professor. Will we not?
Oh, absolutely we will. I mean, it is always a good time. I always say the fans don't see how hard all of us work. You don't see the strings. You don't see if we're doing it right. You don't see the strings. You don't see all the preparation and everything else that goes into it. And that's if we're doing it correctly. You get the experience and you get the feeling that we give you, and that is when we are doing our job correctly. And that is when this art, this sport, this business is at its best.
Well, see, that's the thing about the indies. You're looking at guys that might have met for the first time that night.
Mm-hmm.
Put a fantastic match together and entertain the crowds, and it looks real. I mean, think about that. When you see on TV, those guys practice for months.
Oh,
Before,
yeah.
or they do it constantly. They
Right.
eat once a month at our place at least. I mean, no, they all work other shows, but they don't know who they're working, or they'll meet with somebody and go out there and entertain a lot of the crowd. I mean, that's amazing as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
And the best part too is like when you're in an independent wrestling show, the crowd is, more intimate. You're part of the show. Chance the wrestlers can hear you. You're part of the show. Like it's a more intimate setting, and you go to a WWE show. Sure, if you're sitting in the front row, they can hear you. But if you're sitting up in Bob Uecker seats, not so much, right? You
Well,
might have a good time with the family at a WWE show, but I tell you, when you come to these independent shows, if you love professional wrestling the way myself and the professor do, you have such a great time because of that intimate setting, that smaller crowd. It's kind of like seeing your favorite band playing in like a pub versus an arena. You know what I'm saying?
right. I mean, you're up close and personal. You can feel the hits, you can feel the bumps, you know, you can actually see sweat falling off of these guys sometimes. You're kind of on it.
You can hear them trash talking, and you can hear them trash talking to each other in the like, in the ring, and it's great. I mean, it's great for any professional wrestling fan that loves to see some up close and personal professional wrestling. This is your chance to be in the front row, man. Get in the front row. Get up close and personal, man. And then at intermission, you get to meet them. You can meet and greet with a lot of the wrestlers at a 3WA show. They'll come out. Sometimes they got merchandise. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just do pictures and selfies with the fans and autographs. But I mean, you can't do that at a WWE show either.
No, I mean, the only thing that separates most of the indie workers from the WWE is opportunities.
Yeah.
You can guys that are just as good, and they would be just as good if they got the chance to get up there. And have the same training regimen and free to work. A lot of indie guys have regular jobs. When you're up there, you got nothing to do but train and get better. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that with a lot of especially some of the younger guys that we have that, they could be there.
And like you said, it takes a village to put these shows together. It's the wrestling talent, sure. It's yourself, but it's also the people of the sound. It's Kurt and the camera crew. It's the professor and I. It's the referees. It's the ring announcer. Like everybody gets together to put these shows together, man. And they work so hard, and they have such a great time doing it because they love this business.
It's the only reason why anybody does it. I mean, you're not making any money here. I mean, it's not,
No.
you're not making a living off it. You got, or else do something else.
Well, we
Yeah.
hope that people watch this. If you haven't watched live and you're watching this on replay, come on down to Quakertown this Saturday at the Q Mart. Doors open at 6. Bell time's usually around 7. General admission $20, and you'll see some great wrestling action as only the 3WA can provide. Professor, you got any parting gifts for the owner of 3WA, Dimitrios Arion?
Well, I mean, it's the usual. Just thank you for allowing me to continue living my dream. And we're going to kill it this Saturday. We're going to kill it the Saturday Slam Down Showdown. I mean, we're going to kill it all year. We're going to continue to uphold the standards. 3WA continues to be one of the great platforms in Pennsylvania independent wrestling. It continues to be one of the places to be. And we're going to continue that in 2025 and beyond.
Definitely. I'm glad to have you guys. You're a great asset also. So
Thank you. That really means the world.
It does. Absolutely, man. And you're welcome here anytime. You know that. You just reach out to me, and it's easy, guys. You want to you want to follow us on Facebook, like our page, go to our Facebook group, join our group. That's where you can post. We have over 1,000 followers on that group now, so that's where you want to post your events. I urge you. You have a poster for an upcoming wrestling event locally. That's where you want to post those events, because that's where the eyes of the fans in this area are going to be. So I urge you to join that Facebook group, share your posters, and any way we can help you guys promote, just like we have tonight with Mr. Arion with his upcoming events, March the 22nd in the Q Mart, April the 5th in Newtown, and April the 26th back at the Q Mart. Man, you guys got to come down and see what they provide. We got one last comment. I thought I checked. I saw Chris Van. Great show. Thank you. I appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah, 2 seconds ago.
Love it. But anyway, man, it's a pleasure, Mr. Arion, to be part of it, man. And we're going to see you in Quakertown. And you guys watching, we'll see you guys right here on Around the Turnbuckle next week. By the way, we don't have a guest booked. Hint, hint to those in attendance at Quakertown. You guys want to be on the show?
Yeah,
come talk to us. Make our job easy. Yeah. Do you want to hear the professor, talk about how great AEW is?
Yes.
I don't.
How dare you? How dare you? Oh, look who just got in there at the last minute when you said that.
Split second.
And when you're fishing for guests, look who shows up.
Classic Johnny Potter. All right. Mr. Arion, it's been a pleasure, sir. Professor, you know I love you, brother. For the professor and for Dimitrios Arion, I am Big Al. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys in Quakertown this Saturday and next week on right here at 7 o'clock Eastern on Around the Turnbuckle.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you smile!
Calculations are correct when this baby